Hi everybody, my name is Michael Chu, and today we'll be unboxing and testing out the Mevo Start, which is releasing in April. I got a little bit of an early view, but I just wanted to clear the air about something first. Yes, there is a novel coronavirus going around, and yes, I'm Chinese American, but no, I do not eat bat shit. Only seagull shit. I originally really liked the Mevo Plus, except for my uses in the studio, the lens was just too wide. I had to zoom in too much and it got all scraggly. Now the Mevo Start is a lower priced alternative to the Mevo Plus. First of all, it's not a 4K sensor, it is a 1080p sensor, but that makes the pixels a little bit bigger, so it's better in low light. Second of all, the lens is not as wide and less distorted, so you don't really even need to crop in as much as with the Mevo Plus. Okay, now when the Mevo Start was first introduced, I figured that it's simplified and was meant to used in multicam streaming. And yes, that is part of the plan, but you have to wait until summer of 2020. Now I think the main draw of the Mevo Start over the Mevo Plus is that it has much higher battery life. While in the Mevo Plus I saw about like a couple of hours, not even. This one says that it could have up to 6 hours of runtime just off of its own internal battery. So you don't have to plug it in order to get a whole event streamed. All right, let's just open this sucker up. Let's see how fancy this is. I think this is really cool how it has a nice red box here. It just feels red. What comes in the package is really simple. You basically get the camera, you get a microfiber cloth, you get a pretty long USB-C cable. Now that's USB-A to USB-C in order to charge. You get a little paper slip that gives you instructions, which is pretty much just charge the camera and download the app and connect to the app. Essentially 3 actual items in the box. It's pretty bare bones. I guess that helps keep the price down to $2.99 instead of $3.99, you know. I wish there was a little case or a little carrying bag with it. That would have been amazing. Now taking a close look at this thing, it pretty much has a bare lens in front of it with a little indicator light. I wonder how you're supposed to protect that lens when carrying around. That's, you know, a pouch would be great. So on the top you see the little dots, which comprise of the 3 MEM mics that supposedly give you amazing audio. We will find out if that's true. But if you want to use your own mics, there is thankfully a 3.5mm jack built in the back. There's a power button. On the bottom there's the USB port, the USB-C port, and then we also have a micro SD card slot in which you could record in either HEVC or H.264, which is, I guess, cool. Now what's really interesting is that on the bottom there's a 1/4-20 screw, and then you unscrew the adapter that makes the 1/4-20, and then you have a mic stand, little thingy adapter. So yeah, I guess musicians rejoice, you could use your stands. Since this is a beta/review unit, I'm actually using a beta version of the software. A lot of things that I mentioned could change at any time. What is awesome is that it automatically detects using Bluetooth, which is always a plus. I don't want to have to finagle too much in order to get up and running. And then you configure. Now, there are 2 main ways in order to connect this to the internet. You could use your home or office internet using the Wi-Fi if you have a pretty good connection, or use the Ethernet adapter to your router. Those are the most solid ways, in my humble opinion. I think it's more than just my humble opinion, it's everybody's opinion. But there is another way if you want to take this on the go, which is great. You pass through using Wi-Fi to use the LTE or whatever you got on your phone using the app. Now when it comes to actual streaming, this thing gives you quite a few platforms to play with, thankfully. I use Facebook and YouTube Live a whole lot. Now, once you start playing around with the app, it's pretty much, you know, the same thing as Mevo Plus. You get to zoom in, you get to zoom out, you get to add like angles, different angles, but of course you're cropping into a 1080p image, which means that is much lower resolution once you crop in. Now it's been a while since I played with this app, and one thing I don't remember is being able to manually control the exposure, which is pretty cool. Even though it's not quite pro camera level, at least it's like not all auto and nothing else. But okay, enough talk. Let's actually test out to see if the battery life can last up to 6 hours. I kinda doubt it, but you know, test to really see the results. So what I did was I connected to YouTube Live and just streamed an extremely mundane life in the evening of my home. Now this was relatively late at night, so I eventually just went to sleep at around the 3-hour mark, and the battery's saying that's actually 10%. And I was like, oh, it's probably gonna last just 3.5 hours or something like that. I wake up and I looked at when the stream died, and it actually died at 5 hours and 45 minutes-ish. And I was like blown away with that because I actually took about 15 minutes to finagle with the settings after it was fully charged at 100%. So technically it was operating for 6 hours. That's really impressive. So that 6-hour claim, I think, is pretty legit. So far, we're gonna see just how it operates with other platforms with different encoding methods and such. Now this was a pretty simple test. I wanna actually see how it does out in the open using my 4G LTE off my Verizon phone. See if that's any good. Go Verizon. Now to know when the in-depth review comes out, please click the subscribe button, and to know that you even give a shit about this, click the like button downstairs, right in the corner, or wherever it is on the frame of your web browser or app. Hey look, I'm getting potential spam on my Apple Watch. It says potential spam. Really? They say that now?